ballet. Okay, next tutorial. This tutorial is meant to be from a recreation from one of the characters on the game Payday, or Payday 2, I think it's in both. It's meant to be Dallas. Now, I've not played the game before, but after reading about it and hearing about it, it does sound pretty cool. I might have to get it myself. But I got it requested from Pyro Lover and Charlie Brown. I'll pop your names on the screen there. So these two guys requested that I do it. And I looked into it and it did look pretty awesome, and I love the masks. There are several of these looks, but this one seems to be the main one that seems to be on all the poster art. And yeah, it does look quite cool, so I thought I'd recreate it. I hope this does it justice for you guys. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for the request. I really hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Yeah, so if you'd like to see how to recreate this, stay tuned. So, surprise, surprise, the first couple of steps I'm going to do is block out my eyebrows and apply a plain latex ball cap, as usual. I'll pop links here and here to tutorials that I've done in the past to teach you guys how to do it, to make this tutorial go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to apply those. Make sure when you block out your eyebrows you do an extra layer of, let's say, Spirit Gum, if that's the method you're going to choose. Like as you use Spirit Gum, then whites, then another layer of Spirit Gum, just because I'm going to be using liquid latex over my eyebrows to make it extra safe, which is perfectly fine. I've done it loads of times in the past. Just make sure you have that extra coat so that when you remove it, it doesn't remove your eyebrows with it. Yeah. So I'm going to do all that and get back to you. Okie dokie, so I've blocked my eyebrows out and applied a thin layer of latex around the edge of my bald cap, just so I can make the edges seamless. I've also covered my ears as well. That's a debatable thing. You don't have to do it. If you want it to look more like a mask, you wouldn't necessarily cover your ears. You could just paint this whole area here. I'm going to do the full head because I just think it's a cool effect. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is, this obviously hasn't dried yet because I'm going to take my small liquid latex and a sponge, and I'm just going to apply it all over my forehead and my eyebrows, because that's where I'm going to make like a really furrowed brow, like a really, really furrowed brow. I'm going to build it up with tissue as well. But I'm going to do 3 layers of latex, so letting it dry in between. And when I'm on the 3rd latex, then I can talk to you about what I'm going to do next. Okay, so then I can take some tissue paper, which regular toilet tissue paper that I've just torn into. So I've got the thinner halves, and I'm going to work with strips, really, really little strips. That's probably a bit too big, but yeah, little strips. And the idea is to coat the area that I want to apply it on. So it's going to be this area here. It's not going to be too far up. Just work in a small area at a time. Take the tissue and just press it down, and then just cover it again in latex. So once I've done that, I can let that dry and then build it up again. So eventually I'll be working on getting this V shape. So very, very angry and furrowed. So if you make an angry expression, it does help. You can see the expression where you need to build it up here. So outwards here. Yeah, so probably about 6 to 7 coats that's going to take. So just keep building it up, doing that as you go, and eventually it will start to form and take shape. When you're in the 3rd and 4th shape, you can start making it a bit more malleable. You could press in here just to make it look a bit more angry, but yeah. So there we are. So I've got this very furrowed looking brow, and it does overlap the eyebrows slightly, just making the eyes look a tiny bit thinner, because I want them to be very grinny like my V for Vendetta makeup. So I'm going to do a lot of shading to make my cheeks look a lot higher and the grin to be a lot bigger. Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do now is take some Snazaroo Clown White and use that on its own, and I am going to apply it everywhere eventually, but for now I'm just going to paint this half of my face, not doing my neck because it's meant to be a mask, even though I'm doing the whole head. Maybe it could be a whole head mask, yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to stop it right there, okay? Then I'm just going to powder that with some Ben Nye Super White Setting Powder. So there we are. So I've not coloured my eyes or anywhere up here or back here yet, just this area here. So then I'm going to take a black Grimas cream in 101. You could do this with black eyeshadow, but I think it's going to be, I think this would be a bit easier. It's going to be quite a lot of shading going on here. So I'll start in the nasal labial folds. So I'm going to do a lot of shading outwards to make it look like there's a huge grin, because the clown mouth that I'm going to draw is going to be up here, so the nasal labial folds, this area here, needs to be quite far out. So I'm going to trace on all the lines that I need, including lines up here and like a sad face shape under here to make it look like you've got cheeks, your cheeks are up here. You'll see as I'm going, I won't blend it, I'll draw them on and then blend them out. So there we are. I've not done overly much just yet because I've just realised I kind of need to see how big the mouth is going to be before I do everything else. So I'm going to take a Snazaroo watercolour in bright red, and I'm just going to paint on the lip shape. It's quite a big drawn out smile basically, but once I've done that I'll be able to just like see where the nasal labial folds are going to end and where these folds are going to go down. So there we are. So I can neaten the lips up as I go along, but for now I can see exactly where I need to curve the lines around. So I'm going to carry on using the black cream to do some creases. So then I can take a clean brush, and because this is a cream I can blend it quite well, so I'm going to blend it basically outwards. So all of this, so this colour here, I'm just going to, without adding any extra colour, just start smoking it away from the centre of the face, because that makes the areas that are clean more prominent and it makes the wrinkles look a bit more deep set. Right, so wait for it because this is going to hopefully come together, because for now it's going to look a bit weird. So now I'm just going to paint my eyes black with black Grimas cream, and I'm also going to paint this area here with the clown white, no further than that because that's where the flag's going to start. I'm just going to go underneath the eye as well, and the idea is to start flicking this up. On the bottom layer it's going to go down following the grin. On the top layers it's going to start going up here, and then we can smoke it outwards to give the depth where the furrowed brow is meant to be. Okie dokie, so I've got this very, well not very, but it will be this rounded shape here. So to emphasise the smile where I did the shading earlier. So now I can take another clean brush and I can just smoky this outwards. So there we are. I've not done these lines up nearly as high as they need to be. What I'm going to do is I'll paint the red and white and then the blue square here first, and then when that's all dry and done, then I'll take the cream and just mix it through it, because if I do it now obviously I'll be covering it, so yeah. So I'm going to take that red Snazaroo watercolour again, and I'm going to start the first stripe across. Actually, before I finish this, it seems to also have one of those stripes either side here, so I'm just going to start. Oh, I can go over it again with the black afterwards because I'm silly and didn't realise, but I'm just going to coat the outside of the eyes here and do a stripe going out. I won't go over the eyelids, I'll darken that up afterwards with the cream. Then I'm going to take another Snazaroo colour. This is in royal blue, and I'm going to use that to trace the outline of obviously the blue part of the flag. So I'll colour that area in last, I think, because it's going to be the most intricate with the stars. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Snazaroo Clown White and the red watercolour, and I'm just going to start alternating the stripes across here. So then I'm going to work on this area here. So the stars, rather than the American flag, seem to just be going in strips, rows for some reason. So I'm going to do it that way. Yeah, so I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to take some little star stickers and I'm going to stick them down. And then I'm going to colour over them and then remove them. And hopefully that will just, yeah, that will give the effect of really neat lines, because I'm really not that good at fine detailing, as you guys know. So yeah, so I'm going to stick them down. There's about 20 odd that you can see. Obviously there's 50 in the flag, but I think there's 50, probably. But yeah, I'm only going to cover up to about there because you can only see that. So yeah, so here we go. Actually, slight change of plan. These stars kind of look quite cool like that. I might just paint around them. They kind of look, yeah, I think they look quite cool raised. Sorry. Yeah, these are just like plain stickers. I spray painted silver for a headpiece I made a long time ago. And yeah, I'm going to keep them. Why not? So yeah, I'm just going to use my royal blue watercolour and just paint around them. So for the nose, I was going to use a regular clown nose, but I think it looks a bit too cartoony, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a regular Snazaroo red watercolour and just paint on the shape, but it's not going to be a proper round. It's quite squared off when it comes to the bridge of the nose, and yeah, so you'll see the shape as I do it. Okay, so rather than making it a proper round shape, I've gone around the edge of my nose and just done like that. Just that's how it seems to look when you see the mask in profile. But yeah, so then I'm just going to take the black cream again, and I'm just going to, just shade down the side of it slightly and pull it towards the centre, just to make it look a bit more dirty and a bit more, but it needs to not look as clean. So there we are, so it looks a lot more worn in and been on the streets, that kind of dirty, yeah, so dirty mask, yeah. So now I'm going to do exactly the same thing again on all these red lines. It's going to be very time consuming, so be patient. So I'll take the black cream, hardly any of it, so take a lot of it off on your hands, and then start on the outside and work towards the centres of each of these lines. Okie dokie, so it looks a bit more rustic, and yeah. So then I'm going to take my trusty black hairspray, and I was going to do it on the white as well, but then I thought the hairspray would be a lot easier, because white is very, you can taint it, and trying to clean it will just be a nightmare. So I thought if I just get some hairspray and spray it like a real distance, like not like there, just very, very lightly spritzing, just to darken it up and make it more just dull and, as I said, rustic, not as clean. So then I'm able to take that black cream that I've done on these lines here and just pull them into the red lines, just so it doesn't just suddenly stop. And I've just drawn a couple lines here and here, either side the bridge of my nose, just so it looks a bit more scrunched up. So then finally I can just work on neatening up all these lines. So I'm going to take the black cream, neaten them up. I'm sure you guys probably neatened them up at the time you did them, but I'm impatient. I move on to the next bit. So I'm going to go on now, just neaten all these up, shade them a bit darker around the jawline here because I want this to be a bit more narrow. And yeah, after that, I should be ready for the final step. So there we are. So finally, I'm going to apply my suit for my costume. I'm going to wear like a white shirt and a black tie. Also, you're supposed to wear blue gloves. I think you wear blue gloves. I've only got purple gloves, so they'll have to do. My eyes, I'm going to apply 2 sclera lenses, some blackout sclera lenses, which are 22mm lenses, just because it's meant to look like a mask, and it looks quite creepy with your eyes, but I think the sclera lenses will mask and make it look a lot more mask-like, and I don't know. I got them from eyesbright.com. I'll pop the link in the description bar below. They are called Sabertooth lenses. You could just wear whiteout lenses, actually, which would be quite cool, but up to you guys. So yeah, I'm going to apply them and pop my costume on and get back to you. So there we are. I changed it a tiny bit after I put my lenses and my suit on. I took the shading off the chin out. I know he's got that very blunt chin for the mask, but I just thought it was too distracting, so I just smoothed it out and took the lines down. I don't know. I think it looks better. But yeah, so that's my look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it's a super effective look, super fun to do. A little bit complicated, but most of my looks tend to be. But yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like it, please make sure to, rate, comment, subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time, bye.